long story short, the bosses come, everybody comes in, and comes the boss. Here's the marijuana, here's the cash. And the boss goes, is that it? It's almost like he's asking me, is there anything else?
Right.
That's your
Like Dowd,
kids.
I noticed something else.
Yeah.
Like that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about the 100
It's
in my
like these
pocket.
$800 in my pocket. That night we go out, having a couple of cocktails. He shows up. Boy, he was here out with us. I go, I gave you that money. He goes, I wanted to punch you in the fucking head. He said, you could have gave me that money later. He said, if you show up at the scene and you're the only one there, whatever's there is yours.
This is Inside the Life with Giovanni and Dutch, produced by the Mob Museum. Giovanni, Rocco, and Dutch McAlpin are former police and federal task force operatives. They infiltrated drug cartels, outlaw motorcycle groups, and the mafia. Now, they share their stories, along with others who have gone inside the life.
Welcome back to Inside the Life. We're here at the Mob Museum with Michael Dowd, arguably the dirtiest New York City police officer. He's going to detail a lot of things that he did wrong. He's going to admit to criminal activity.
Is he a changed man? I don't know. It's not for us to judge it. But I will say, I believe the only redeemable quality in him is the fact that he owns his actions and he admits to what he did and played with the parts that he played while he was on the job and the corruption. He owns it.
It's important to talk about it because it happens, because it exists. But in no means do we support or back it up. It's just him being transparent and us knowing that it exists. Welcome to Inside the Life. We're here with Michael Dowd, arguably NYPD's dirtiest cop. It's not judgmental or attacking him at all, but it's simply what he's known for, and we're going to get into the roots of that right away. Michael, you're a New York guy, born and raised?
Yeah, born in Brooklyn, Flatlands Avenue for people out there, the Marine Park section. People out there will connect to that right away. Flatlands in 37th Street, and the Coldwater Flats, they used to call them. That's where I was born. Till I was 3 years old. My dad became a New York City firefighter, and he took his 5 kids at that time out to Long Island, and then popped out 2 more out in Brentwood, New York. We call it Brentwood sometimes, but now it was Brentwood back then. It became Brentwood.
Okay.
Yeah.
7 of you guys?
There's 7 children in the Dowd family, yeah, and at this age, I have grandkids, you know. So, but yeah, but my siblings, there was 7 of us. We came together. We had our own little team wherever we went.
What did he do on the side? Most firemen,
Everything.
cops,
He did everything. My father had 4 jobs at one time.
Yeah, just trying to survive.
Just
and pay the
surviving,
bills.
and there was never any money in the house. But he had 4 jobs, and he wasn't a gambler.
Yeah.
You know, he was a drinker. He was a
Raised you
case a
hard.
day guy. They had Peels and Schlitz, whatever.
Schlitz,
Whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
Terrible beer.
Rheingold.
Right, Rheingold, another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
remember.
yeah.
Did he raise you hard? How was your relationship
My
with him?
father was actually a softie, you know. I mean, he was a tough, brutal guy if he needed to be, but he was a soft heart. My mother was the pain in the ass all the time.
Yeah.
My mother was raised by nuns. She was raised in an orphanage.
Irish too? Your mom's Irish?
My mom's an Irish Jew.
Okay.
And my father was Irish.
All right. Neighborhood raised you? You know, typical New
Not
York
really,
neighborhood?
no. We raised each other.
Okay.
I take credit for my brothers, but I was the middle son.
Yeah.
I was number 3 out of 7.
Okay.
And my first 2 brothers had a little developmental. My first brother was on the spectrum, you know.
Right.
And so I was like sort of like the family mascot in a way, you know.
So typically the role for the middle kid.
Yeah,
which I know about. I'm the middle kid.
I
so.
sort of raised both sides of my family because I was responsible.
Right.
I kind of felt like, you know, being known that you're known for getting in this criminal activity, that you were going to tell a story of like growing up in a rough neighborhood, around drug dealers, robbing and surviving, and that's not what you're saying at all.
Not at
You're
all.
saying
I played sports. I was active from a young child. You know, hockey, football, baseball, basketball, soccer. I mean, we had our own little sports team in the house, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we fought each other all the time, but lovingly, you know?
Yeah,
When we finished the fight,
stuff.
we played, you know?
Right. Argument's sake, all American family. You're being raised in New York.
And Mom stayed home, and Dad worked 4 jobs.
And you get to the age where you want to be a fireman or a cop. When did you decide you wanted to be a cop?
It's like that's how it's supposed to go, right?
much,
I mean, yeah.
How does it happen? You decide, okay, I'm going to apply for NYPD. I'm going to apply for FDNY.
So, of course, when you're when you grow up as a fireman's kid,
Right.
you're not really looking to be a fireman because
No way.
dad doesn't want you to be a fireman.
Yep.
Dad wants you to be a doctor, a lawyer, accountant, a major business mogul. Okay.
He thinks the fireman's got better chance of you being a doctor, though,
Yeah,
right?
right. Yeah.
Well, every
yes.
dad wants more for their kid, right?
Every
the next
dad wants
generation.
more for their child.
Yeah.
And one of the things, and this is a very good quality time, and it's touching in a way. My dad is still alive and amazing. He would go out in the garage, and one of the side hustles that my dad did for his whole life was pool table mechanic.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm a certified, basically pool table mechanic. I certified myself,
Right.
Self-certified.
self-certified. So in the garage, my dad would, the day before we'd go out on a job to put these pool tables together, he'd be clothing the rails in the garage. So it was like quality time with dad, right? And all my other brothers were busy, being assholes, and I was in there with my dad. He'd be putting the rails together, tapping the staples in, putting the feathering in, doing the cloth, and it was a skill. It's a skill.
Yeah.
And so it was like quality time with me, and he'd always talk to me about his dreams and how he would hope that I could be the one. Like I said, I was the normal child. My first brother was special. My second brother should have been special. And then, so I was like that. The guy, the man, I was going to take the family on.
Okay.
And I don't know if people out there don't understand, but that's how we grew up in the late 60s. Well, at that time, I'm born in 61. So 69 to 70 something, your parents tried to develop you into taking the family to the next level. At least that's how my home was.
No, a lot of
I
homes are
think
like
most
that.
homes want that.
So, yeah. So I sort of, this is unfortunate, I felt a burden. And that's sad to say, right? Because you're a young guy, young boy, and you feel a little bit of pressure already to try to achieve. And by the way, I'm dyslexic, so I can't even fucking read. I'm like reading backwards and upside down and slow, and I'm like, but I'm intelligent, so it's like very confusing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to tell my parents I can't read. Who wants to tell their parents I can't read, right? So it's a really struggling time for me. Long story short, with that part of my life is it really set me off in a direction to want to be more.
Right.
Always.
That's what your dad influenced on you. Like,
My dad,
try to do more, be more, be
and my
more.
mom, because my mom being raised in an orphanage, if you had clothes on your back, a roof over your head, and food on the table, she thought you were doing amazing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Without a doubt.
So if we weren't grateful for that, you don't know what it's like to not have food, clothing, and shelter.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah.
growing up. You drank all your milk at dinner, even though you didn't want the milk, and it was a hot summer night.
You left
drank it.
nothing on that
Nothing
table,
on the
nothing
table.
on that plate. So now so here's how I become a cop. I'm in accounting school, right? Because I like money. I figure doctor, lawyer, accounting sounds better because I know I can handle. I'm a little bit of a mathematician. I wouldn't say I'm an expert A level, but I'm in the B+ range in math. And plus, I guess dyslexia it's a favorable thing for dyslexic people is math. So I made that up just now, just so you know. But
I'm dyslexic and I'm not very good at math either.
well,
so I was
slow
like,
down,
I'm
you'll
gonna
get
say
it.
this.
You'll eventually get it. So in our Irish family, and maybe the Italian guys at some point, but they were a little different, all right? The Irish family, you grow up, you take all the tests. Police, fire, sanitation, corrections, whatever. So I took the first police test that came out when I was of age. And back then it was like a lottery almost. Like if you scored a 90, you were in the 90 to the 100 bracket.
Yeah.
If you scored an 80, you were in the 80 to 90 bracket. Long story short, I get called very early on the list. So I go to my accounting teacher, Mr. Weinstein out there at Suffolk Community College. He looks at me. He's got this hair that goes like this, the long stringy hair covering something.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it came down to here. He goes, you want to sit behind the desk all your life, or you want to be out there in the street moving around? Thank you. I got to go. I walked out the door. I began to go through the process. And that was about a 6-month process. And that was on a hurried up schedule because back then,
Trying to hire as many people as
they were
they
hiring
can.
as many as they could because the PD was down 15,000 cops.
Right.
Because the level should have been around 30-ish. And at that time, it was about 15,000 patrol. So they were putting us in just like fish in a net. Just
Can't get in the street fast enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess fortunately or unfortunately for me, they were less scrutinizing. But the reality is I was very qualified.
You had a clean background.
I was
at this
very
point
qualified.
too, right?
I was very qualified. And so I took the test. I go to the academy. And so the difference between the PD and the fire department is, so now I'm in the PD and now the fire department test comes.
Okay.
A year and a half later. All right? Because they don't give it all the time. Like today, it's a different world with testing.
Yeah.
But back then, it was like every 3, 4, 5 years you get a test, and they were very competitive tests.
Yeah, they were full. They had
their full manpower. So and everybody liked the fire department job. You might not like running into a burning building, but the job was good.
Yeah.
So I end up taking the fire department test, and I don't know if you're familiar with the test itself, the physical test. It's actually. People died taking the test.
Yeah.
Taking the fire department test, they died, yes. And I didn't practice first. My brother got 100, all right, on the physical.
Really?
Not that many people got 100.
Yeah.
About a dozen people got 100
impressive.
on the whole test. My brother got 100. So now I'm like, but he was a beast. He was like a hockey star, like star. He's NHL quality. So he was like a beast, And I was athletic, as we said, and of course now I'm in the PD year and a half, so I'm a lazy slob, right? So I get out, I pull a 95 on the physical, almost die.
Wow.
I'm like
Dragging the dummy.
because you're wearing a vest with all the weights and stuff on, and they rip the vest off you. And I'm not 23 years old now. I'm not like I'm an old man here, And I just left the hockey field a year or two ago.
95 is a good
and
score.
I'm running around the gym in the police academy, so I'm in decent shape, but I'm slow because I'm not active.
Right.
You realize how out of shape you are.
Well, when you're sitting in a car all day, you're on patrol by
eating
then,
donuts.
right? Yeah, you're on patrol. You're not, or you're walking the beat. What are you
I
doing
was
at the time?
basically at that point. I was in the car,
Okay.
but it wasn't long. I mean, walk the beat, whatever. But you're still not in athletic
you
shape
let yourself
when you're
go.
walking the beat. You're in shape, not athletic. Anyway, so I had 95, and here's the thing: back then they went by your social security number. So if you and I both got 95s, they went by your last 4 numbers of your social security number.
Oh, okay.
I mean, so my parents didn't give me a social security number that was low. I don't know what to tell you. I was on the list for 9 years.
All right. 9 years.
9 years.
Good God.
And I'm sitting there 9 years, and the list's about to die. I'll tell you, this is a segue in the front. So 9 years in the PD, 8 years in the PD at this time, almost 10. So 9.5 years in the PD at this time, maybe 10. And I'm sitting there, and this kid comes up to me, young rookie cop. He goes, "We want you to run for PBA delegate."
Oh.
I look because I'm a bastard. I challenge.
That's a union deal.
I challenge.
yeah,
everybody.
you would
I'm a
challenge
challenge. I
everybody.
challenge.
Yeah.
All the bosses are afraid of me. So I look at him. I go, I don't think I'm going to be here long.
You're hoping for that firefighter slot still?
No. He goes, why? He goes, you going to because they heard I might go to the PD. I go, I'm dead. The list just died. It
Right.
just died that week. He asked me, because now that he knows it's died, he's asking me, do you want to become a PBA delegate? We'll vote for you. I'm there, the most corrupt cop in the city then.
Yeah, at the
already
time.
knew
Then
that?
they already
And they
know
knew
it. They
that
want me to
about you?
run for delegate. I go, I don't know if I'm going to be here. This is in April. May 6th, I get arrested.
Really?
Yeah.
So did you know it was coming at that point already?
I
Were you
felt
kind of
it.
sitting
It was
in the PD like,
it was
any
everywhere.
moment?
So that was my life as far as the decision making in the PD and whatnot. So, but I was like always looking for an escape to get
You
out.
were trying to get away, but
Yeah.
so that list, you died on a vine. But
Yeah.
when you become a cop, we'll rewind that in the beginning of your career.
Right.
You're a good cop. You're a good rookie.
I loved being a cop. I didn't think that I would. So my first time in the street as a cop, I walk out of the police at a graduation. It's a really cool story. Weird anyway. I'm in uniform.
Yeah.
The first time in my life.
Yeah.
Because in the police academy, you don't really wear a uniform. You wear academy
Yeah,
uniform.
the academy clothes.
Okay.
Khaki color.
Dickies and
Yeah,
all that.
At that
yeah.
time, it was like a powder blue shirt and like a Catholic school.
Yeah.
Right? Like Catholic school shirt.
Yeah.
So I come out of the Madison Square Garden. Now they gave you the gun like a day or two before this, so you get used to it, so you don't shoot nobody. Right. So I'm in the Madison Square Garden. I walk out on 34th Street, and my father's with me. He's so proud. He's one thing about being my dad and firemen in general, they love the cop job, but they don't want it. So they liked, you're a cop.
Yeah.
Because fireman and cop is, in New York, it's almost the same in a lot of respect.
Yeah, respect-wise.
But the PD, you get a lot more leeway, with life.
And I'll pause you for a minute because it comes with a lot of authority.
Well, absolutely.
And the way you're describing it, it's triggering to me because I'm thinking back. The first time you put that uniform on, you pin that badge to your chest. When you said you put that gun on your hip, I flashed back to what it felt like to have that much authority.
Yeah.
And to be that, you have to be that responsible. You're representing a brand. So the minute you walk in the street, it's intimidating. I remember it like it was yesterday.
I walked out there and a woman says to me, watch this. I'm with my dad. Officer. And I'm looking like this. Officer. Wait. Yeah. Officer. And I'm looking for the officer.
Yeah. I know.
She's calling me.
Right.
And I go, and my father goes, I think she's talking to you, Mike. I go, where's the cop? Like in my head, where's the cop? It's you motherfucker.
Right. It's the first time you feel that.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, shit. She goes, do you know where Macy's is?
Oh, good God.
Some woman from Germany or something. First thing she sees is a guy in police uniform, brand new, sparkles, you know, all the shiny shit.
He knows everything.
He knows everything. He knows how to solve the world's
everything.
problems. I'm like, God, I got a problem. How do I handle it? So I go, she goes, you know where Macy's is now? I'm on 34th Street. Now, any woman in the world knows where Macy's is. It's on 34th.
I think they made a movie about it, right?
It's on 34th Street.
A Miracle on 34th.
I don't know where I am. I'm at Madison Square Garden. I know hockey. I know where I am at the Garden. You know where? So I go. My father goes, down the block, make a right.
He saved you.
Down the block, make a right. I go, down the block, make a right. She didn't want to hear from him. She wanted to hear from me.
Yep.
Go down the block and make a right. Here we go. It's real.
Yeah.
When I got my second week, now I'm like an old time, like 2 weeks. And
Salt.
Salty motherfucker. I got like 2 weeks on the job, and I'm on 82nd Street and 37th Avenue, right by Roosevelt, between Roosevelt and 37th Avenue. And they're in front of this pizzeria. Now, if you know New York at all, there's no parking. Even in Queens, there's no parking because there's bus stops. And every pizzeria is in a bus stop, just so you know. So this woman jumps out to get some pizza. I don't see her. I come walking up. I see the car in the park. I got to get tickets. I'm a ticket guy, right? I'm supposed to write tickets.
Yeah.
I'm writing this ticket out, and all of a sudden this smoking hot broad comes walking out and goes, I just getting a... I go, oh, no problem. I take the thing. I void out the ticket. Like I don't know. You're not supposed to void your own ticket, just so you know, okay? Right. So I'm right. All right, don't worry about it. Void. So about a minute later, the boss pulls up. He goes, let me give you a scratch. He goes, give me a scratch. He goes, what's going on? I says, well, I want to void this ticket. And he goes, what do you mean void the ticket? I said, well, the woman left. He goes, you wrote that ticket. She got it. I go, well, I wrote void on it. He goes, you don't write void on anything. You make believe you gave it to her. Just throw it in the street. You gave it. You wrote the ticket. Yeah. Throw it under the garbage. I don't care.
Don't fill it out.
She'll get the notice in the mail later on to pay the ticket.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
So that was his answer to me. I'm like, because he thought, like, what are you taking money?
Yeah.
I don't know how to take money yet.
Right. But even
your
that
boss
simple
thought
act.
that's what you're doing?
Well, he said that's the implication.
Yeah,
He didn't think that I was because he knows I was a stupid rookie.
Yeah.
So, and again, I got to stop because they have to understand, the people listening and watching, when you wrote a ticket, remember the old yellow ticket books, and you wrote void, you would then have to take that ticket book with that voided ticket to the station house, right? To the precinct.
Yeah.
And they'd had a box, and at least where we worked.
Yeah, we had boxes.
The box where you deposited your tickets that you wrote.
Right.
Correct.
And then the voided ones can go in here so they could be sent down to court.
Yes, and they had to be.
They had to go all the way through court to
It was
get
a whole
canceled out.
process.
Yeah, you
and
can't
they
just
didn't
water
want that
that.
process.
And they don't want the process because it's work. But
Yes.
I'm curious because, again, it's the culture of it, right? It sounds like it's not corruption, but you're being told by a supervisor, like you're trying to do things legitimately. You're a young kid, wet behind the ear.
Yeah, you
The
thought
lady
she was
left,
nice
I felt
lady.
bad.
I'll give
She
her a
left.
break. Yeah.
But I'm not saying that's the foundation to springboard into the dirtiest cop New York.
No, of course
ever had.
not. That was the furthest thing from my mind.
But
I was trying to be nice to the public.
when my supervisor says to me, just throw it out, that plants a seed above, just do it.
Yeah,
Just don't call
from
me.
the very
Just make it
beginning.
work.
And I'll tell you this, there was I came on in 90, there was a culture at the time, don't call the supervisor to
Never.
the scene.
No.
If you call
It
the
better be
supervisor,
big.
there better be dead bodies.
Yeah.
There better be somebody in cuffs when I get there, because if I get there and you bothered me, you got yelled at for it.
Yeah.
You got scolded.
Yeah, handle your own business.
Yeah. Handle it. Yeah.
So that was my understanding. So one of the interesting things, and I segue into this. I'm still in the same area. And I actually, people don't know, it was the 110 precinct, which is Corona, Elmhurst, Jackson Heights. Now, realize back in the early '80s, that was the major hub for Colombian cocaine distribution.
Right.
Because you had both airports, LaGuardia and Kennedy, and people don't realize this, but back then, that's how that's how it was delivered. It was all delivered through planes, 90% at that point, because it was wide open. There was no security. There was no checking. The luggage was just loaded up and transported back and forth. Yeah. And, of course, I don't know that. I'm not in the luggage business. But as you become older and more aware, you go, now I know why it was the major hub.
Sense,
So it was prevalent back there. So that's where I'm working at the time. And so now I get a lot of you're a rookie. So, and FTO,
field training.
I'm in field training still.
Yep.
And one of the first incidents I had, this was a major impact in my psyche. I arrest a guy. I didn't want to arrest him. Listen, let's be honest with you. Most cops don't really want to arrest anybody, just so you know. We want things to go away so there's no problems for you or us. Right. But for me, I just like to have everybody be equal so no one's hurt.
Right.
All right? So now I pull up. I'm walking the street right by near USA roller rink back then. Right off the major section, there's one little like PL place, little tiny place. And there's a pizzeria on the corner. And there's a car on the sidewalk.
It's an everyday occurrence.
On the sidewalk. And I see the guy's head on his steering wheel. I'm in Corona, Jackson Heights, Elmhurst, the cocaine capital of the world. I'm thinking this guy, because his murder's
he's been shot.
I'm thinking he's dead.
Right.
And his head's on the steering wheel. I don't realize that his foot's on the brake. And he's sleeping. So I'm like tapping on the window, and I don't know what to do. If I wake him up, he takes his foot off the brake, he takes off, goes through a window. I don't know what I'm. So I open the car door, I put the car in park, and he's all spooked. Hey, what are you doing? He goes, and he getting mad at me. Yeah, what are you waking me up for? I'm sorry.
You're on the sidewalk.
I'm sorry, sir. I happened to be waking you up. Let me put you back to sleep. Anyway, so I go, let me license registration. People don't believe this. See, every day when you're in the police force, it's a movie. You're living a front row seat to a movie because every show, it's the greatest show. It's the greatest show on earth, right?
Just regular day to day.
Regular day.
Crazy.
And let's be honest, New York City, Queens, those areas, they're just compacted. Yeah. Everything is times 10. Yeah. It's times 10. So...
And to the point, though, you're so busy, this guy's forcing you to take action, right? You're trying to walk away from
Listen, I'm not a patrolman like patrolling. I'm a foot beat guy. Yeah. So my busy is what I make, right? Yeah. Well, you're on foot. So guys out there, because they'll call us on it. You're on foot post. You're not that busy. Right. No, in a patrol car, you're bouncing from one job to another. Right. But I'm on foot, so I'm making my own work, inquisitive. I'm being what they would call today community police officer, right? Yeah. So I'm community policing. Now... I'm straightening this guy out, and he's yelling at me. He's drunk as a skunk, and now I'm embarrassed. So he's embarrassing me. So now I'm going to lock him up. So I call for backup. I'm going to lock the guy up. And he's going, here, take my fucking money, Yeah. He's got $1,500. Yeah. Back then, that's like a month's salary, maybe two, because I'm making $240 a week. $240 a week back then.
Yeah, you're struggling to keep...
I'm a kid. I'm 20-something years old. I live in mommy and daddy's basement. The guy offers me $1,500 to go away. I'm like, now I'm infuriated. You're going to try to bribe this beautiful piece of tin I just earned my stripes with to get this? So now I'm pissed. But I don't say anything. I take the guy in. Highway, see, in the city, New York City, I don't know about you guys. In New York,
they do your DUIs for you.
New York City highway comes in and they transport and in comes these guys with the leather down to the floor, with the boots up to here, and they got 15, 20 years on the job, and I got a week and a half in the street, all right? And they're looking at me like this. It's 12 o'clock at night, whatever. You took us out of our fucking gang, whatever we were doing, and. So I feel like I'm the criminal.
You feel like you did something wrong arresting the guy?
I'm the criminal, yeah. And back then, I don't pull no punches. It was a race thing, too, because the guy was white and drunk. They're like, what couldn't you let him go? I could see it. I could see that. Why didn't you let this guy go? And I'm so embarrassed and mad at the same time because I didn't say he tried to bribe me. I didn't tell him anything.
Right.
You know, I didn't want to add another charge to this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm still trying to be the fair guy.
Yeah.
Well, you're also at the time you're allowed to do curbside adjustments. They called it.
Yeah, I had discretion. I had discretion.
But he pushed you.
Yeah, he wasn't getting arrested until he offered me the money.
Right. Yeah. Now you try bribing.
Yeah. So I don't charge him with the bribe, but I'm going to give him a DWI.
Yeah.
And back then, DWI was bullshit.
Not that big a deal,
bullshit.
yeah.
It was a fine.
Yeah.
In fact, it turned out to be a $500 fine for him.
Yep.
And they called me up. The DA calls me up. Anyway, so at the moment, I'm in with Highway, and I'm feeling like a schmuck now. I'm the one. Like I feel like I'm the one on trial here in this court of opinion.
Yeah.
After about 10 minutes, the Highway tells him, do this, do that. He goes, fuck you. He tells them. I'm like, yes.
The guy who was driving the car tells
Tells
the
the
highway
guys, the salty guys, to go fuck themselves.
So now they're interested
Now
in this
they're like,
arrest.
okay. Now they love it. Now they're liking me back.
Now they know why you
Now they
arrested
know
him.
why I pinched this guy.
You got the attitude
So
test.
yeah, so this is the process in being a young cop in the street. Everything is a learning experience. You know nothing when you walk out of the academy.
Right.
It's how to tighten your tie up and say yes sir and fill out a line in your memo book.
Right.
And that was basically how we hit the street.
That's a rite of passage.
The rite of passage, and having a good FTO would have been the process for us. But we had so many cops that came out of the academy.
They're all brand new like you, basically.
Nobody could teach
There
you.
was no FTOs.
Right.
There was 3,600 cops that came out of the academy.
You're all learning it together as you go.
Yeah, and there was like of the 3,600, 500 were being trained, and the other guys were standing in the street, bumping into each other, trying to be cops because of what they learned in the academy.
Right.
But I think it's important. NYPD it's very unique. There's not another police department in the United States.
It's the largest police
probably
force in the
training
world.
500 brand new cadets at the same time.
3,600 at this
Yeah,
point.
I mean, this is a unique time.
Yes, no question.
Yeah. If you're somewhere else, you might have had a little more training, education, a little better professionals.
Hands-on.
And nothing against NYPD, but they couldn't handle it. It's like, there's too many people.
We needed guys. The streets there was a bloodbath in the street going on. They needed guys.
But at this time, you feel good about the badge. You feel like a cop.
I'm
now
a
you've made an
policeman.
arrest.
I'm a
and you feel
policeman.
crappy for doing your job.
Yes.
It belittled you for doing your job.
I was being belittled, yeah. Until he opened his mouth. I was like, thank you, Lord. Schmuck.
Now, when were you exposed to your first corruption? Like your first.
So actually in Queens,
Yeah.
and I saw it and just was like, Because and back then they had game rooms. I don't know if you remember game rooms, and they were big places for drug exchange.
Yeah.
You know, a bunch of young guys in and out. You know, they're playing these little Pac-Man shits. I don't even know what they are. They're playing games on video machines.
The smaller version of what it would be what do you call them?
Like a
Video
Dave and Buster's or something like
Arcades,
that.
Arcades,
yeah. So, and they were always dark.
Yeah.
And so they were a great place for drug transactions. And now think about that. Back then, Corona, Elmhurst, Jackson Heights. I mean, there was real drugs being distributed, not like
kilos
not like little packages of of tinfoils.
Not $10 bags.
They weren't
$20
$10.
bags,
They weren't
grams.
for tinfoils.
Right.
They were like major moves going on. And I remember going to the spot. I was on foot. I can't remember, or I don't remember where it was. Roosevelt Avenue and like 102nd Street, and they went in and they went out, and no one got arrested. And I saw a bag of cocaine. I didn't see a kilo, but I saw a bag of it could have been 10 kilos. But I saw the remnants of cocaine, what it looked like to me, and no one got arrested. And I'm like, that was interesting.
How long have you been on the job at this point?
About, I would say at that point, probably academy 6 months, right?
Yep.
So add 6 months to that.
Okay.
So
6
now
months
I'm
on the
more
street.
aware of what's going on around.
comfortable.
Because really,
Yeah.
the speed of the street, people don't understand.
Oh.
They have people have no clue how fast the street moves, and if you don't adapt, you miss everything.
Yeah.
All right. So your adaptation, it's like playing a sport. You start out there throwing at 95, you can't see the ball.
Right.
In a month, you're hitting 95 over the fence. I mean, and I'm not a ball player anymore.
Right.
You know,
It's a good analogy, though.
right? You know what I mean? You don't. Right. So
I'm sitting here thinking back. You're right. You're absolutely
the
right.
speed. Oh, watch his hands. What for? Well,
You don't even know why
But
yet.
your body adjusts and your muscle memory changes. And I guess we should cover it that when you're driving a patrol car, You have peripheral vision. You have
Yeah.
Working midnights is much different.
Yes.
That's night vision.
Yes.
It's almost as if you have night goggles on.
Yes.
Because you're literally driving down the street.
You're
you and
watching
I parties.
shadows.
You can see the
You're
shadows.
watching
in the alley.
shadows the
Yeah.
whole time, and
It changes
you
everything.
watch their body shadow movements.
Yeah.
Not even their hand movements, but the shadow of the movement of their body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the gait.
You get
and the
to know
tilt.
your sector. You get to know your area, and one thing goes off, the world is off tilt.
You see you notice something. It's just
immediately.
odd.
And already 6 months on the street, because you've become vigilant and you know what belongs, what don't, you notice a cocaine bag.
I
Like,
noticed.
that shouldn't have stood out to you in 6
Yeah,
months. But
no.
that's
I
how
would have
fast
noticed it my
works.
first week.
Yeah.
I would have noticed my
Yeah.
first week or two. No
Like
way.
you're already tuning
because
in.
now I'm starting to look. What's going on? There's more going on. I'm seeing layers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people don't understand that, like layers. What's a layer? Well, because you can see here
Yeah.
or you can see here.
Right.
And you
Beyond
begin
the traffic.
you begin to it's like driving a car. You know, people that drive in front of them get in accidents.
Yeah.
People that don't look at the road, they look out here, they don't get in accidents. And that's why I go like this to traffic.
When I think when you're on the job and you're doing that, you see beyond the traffic, you see beyond the pedestrians, and you start to notice things like, who's the guy standing still on the corner?
Yeah, and why is he there again?
this
Why is
car
he still there?
Why is this? Yeah, and you don't really
It's cold
question
out. Why is he still there?
Right. And then day after day after day, you start to see like,
we become friends.
yeah,
We get a job together. You and I work together. You understand?
But at some point, it becomes that. You start to get familiar with the people in the arcade, that area, who's in and out. Now do you start watching it yourself?
So I'm in Queens. I'm a rookie. I'm not staying there.
Yeah.
So, but I become more and more vigilant of what's going on around me, and I start to see things more and more. And I guess at that point, when you start to learn the street from the ground level up as a foot patrol, then I gotten in the car. So now the crimes change when you get in cars.
Yeah, big
crimes
time.
become robbery, burglary, and domestic cases.
Yeah.
Right. Foot patrol is just hello and what you see with your eyes.
doors. Yeah.
And then as you get in the car, you begin to respond. You know, and give chase and be on the lookout. You know, things like you have different sensories going on.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and so that's what I learned my first day in the car with my FTO. I think we had two, and they pull up to these guys. They're good. They pulled up to a bodega, right? They toot the siren, and a guy comes out with a package. Nothing said, just the package. He's got the cold ones in there, cigarettes, gum, chips, whatever. He had pre-ordered, right?
Yeah.
Just because it was their routine.
Yeah.
And then we go to the pizzeria. So here's how this is, they call the Dowd test. Okay, the Dowd. They dubbed this the Dowd test. He goes, "You guys want some pizzas or whatever we're getting? And you want something cold? Want some cold ones?
Like beers.
You want some cold ones?"
Yeah.
So we go, yeah, you know. So he goes, go get us 6 cold ones.
You go get it.
Yeah, you go get them.
Yeah.
Go get us some six cold ones.
What do you do?
So he walks in there. He come out with 6 cold beers, right? So this FTO's like, I got some good ones. In other words,
Right.
so I tell you, so I do a cold test on some young kid. Fast forward a little bit. I'm in East New York. I'm there probably about maybe a year or so on patrol in East New York, which is 10 years, okay? And I pull up to my bodega, and I go to this kid, go get a couple cold ones for us. He comes out with like 3-4 sodas. I go, whatever, go tell Jose that's Mike outside.
Mike.
I go back inside. He comes out with 6 Coors Lights.
Jesus.
I think it was Coors Lights at the time. Some gum, some cigarette, Marlboro Lights, and some chips in the bag. and he looks at me, and I go, "Do you know what cold ones are?"
Yeah.
Now, in the police job, people don't realize it. It doesn't matter how old you are; it's how much time you have.
Yes.
So I'm 23 or 4, whatever I am at the time, and he's 28.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he goes to me, "I didn't know you could get cold ones." I said, "How old are you?"
Really?
He goes, 28. I go, "You can get some cold ones. It's your decision on what you're going to do."
But yeah, you're in uniform. You guys are having beers. Like no big deal.
Yeah.
But again, culturally, it's to rewind.
That's how it was then.
That's how it was.
And culturally, it was that way, right? Like
Yes,
I saw it as a young
Yeah,
cop.
if a boss caught me with it, he'd say, "Do me a favor, put it in a fucking paper bag or something like that." You know?
Yeah.
Well, where's mine?
Right. Right. And it's, it's not expected, but it's rewinding to what were you getting paid per week? $250 per week.
Yeah, at
Cops
that
weren't paid
point,
a
I
lot.
probably, when I'm out in East New York, I'm probably making $280 a week.
And it's not to give them a pass and say
No,
it's
no,
okay
no,
to
no,
do
no.
it. It's
I
just
never make
saying
that as an excuse.
To paint that culture to say, well, if a guy could say, like your dad, he had 7 kids, he's working his ass off. You know, some guys didn't have the luxury of going to lay concrete or do plumbing on the side or whatever, and these guys just cut corners.
Yeah.
I'll save $3 on a 6-pack.
Right.
You know,
and the thing about being a cop back then was a lot of people were looking for favors.
Yeah.
And it's easy to say, hey, listen, just throw you something. And it sort of made life a little easier no matter what it was. I want to get my car fixed. You know?
Yeah.
Right, they're not
Take
going to
care
do
of
it for free, but pay for the parts.
No, but
Yeah.
even the legitimate side of it, it's not even corruption. I would work traffic jobs off duty, right? Because you were able to do, if they did a construction or a paving job, you'd get paid extra money to be there.
Oh, did
during
you?
the
You
day,
got-
right? So
like,
you had the
as-
street jobs.
right.
Yeah, they call them street jobs. So you would show up, and the contractor would say, "Oh, you're so and so's kid," you know, because I'm 3rd generation cop. So normally, if you got paid $200 for the day, and they found out who my father was, they would just, "Oh, you're so and so's kid. Here's an extra $100." Now I made $300 on it. You made $200.
Right.
It's just a culture of, you know, that they took care of each other.
It was for you guys. I will tell you this. Like
When
I
did you
didn't-
come on?
What's that?
When did you go on?
I came on in '96.
Okay.
What I'm saying is just
Where do you
there's-
work? What
The
department?
Midwest. I worked in the Midwest.
Okay.
Not in the East Coast. But what I'm saying though is, I was aware and these things happen, but not every.
Well, you
cop
read my case. You read my fucking case in the newspaper.
Yeah, but I mean, what
Even out
I'm just
there.
trying to explain to everybody else out there. There's other professional law enforcement that wouldn't have beers together.
Right.
There's guys like you said, they take the job differently. You didn't come on with the desire to serve. It was just a job.
It was a job.
That I just want to
No.
make sure we understand too. There's
Yeah.
other coppers that were like, "Nah, I don't have beers on duty." You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you can do it, do your thing. Right. That's
There
fair
were
too.
guys that wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
But most would.
Because
I
in that
agree.
culture
I
back
agree.
then in the 80s,
Especially then.
Yes.
if
Yeah.
you didn't, if they
you didn't,
cracked
you
open
weren't
beers,
trusted.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
weren't
pressure
trusted.
that you get.
That was
put
the
under.
trust thing that
Right.
that was
That's the Dowd
developed.
test.
That
That's
was
the
the
Dowd
Dowd test. That was developed.
You can have a beer with me or not.
Right.
And
Because
they would sniff you out. And again, they would say, "We're gonna have beers." You know, 6-pack of beer, 6 guys sitting here, pop it open, hand it to you. You go, "Nah, I don't drink while I'm working."
Yeah.
Oh, you're drinking tonight.
That
It
you're
wasn't
drinking
an
tonight.
option. You're either gonna wear it or you're gonna drink
Right.
it. And maybe when I get back to, I might tune you up when I get back
Yeah.
to the locker room.
Yeah.
That's the way the old
That's
guys,
what
the
I
Korean
think-
vets. Yeah, I'm talking. It's a different era we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, not
well,
now.
Yeah, no, they don't do that today. But if you didn't drink it, they'd never talk to you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's important that that we bring
Yeah.
that. Era
No,
this
you're right,
time,
and I appreciate
because
that.
today, if you were drinking and you get in a shootout,
Oh, you're done. You're done.
The first thing I do is breath test you, blood
Yes,
test
yes.
you.
No. Listen,
So I just want to paint that.
Don't
picture,
drink.
you know what I mean?
Don't drink and be a cop out
it's a
there.
bad
Don't
idea,
ever
right?
drink. I mean, my point is, but that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
You couldn't be an effective police officer and have the support of them around you.
Yeah.
That was the most important thing back then, is having support.
And they weren't all like that. Like some guys would say to you, "You're going to drink." Other guys, they just break your chops.
Yeah.
If you were walking the beat, one of the funniest things that ever happened to me is a rite of passage. Maybe happened to you. You'd have 2 old salty guys pick you up. "Hey, Mikey? What's your location?"
Right.
"Here I am."
Drive you around.
"Johnny, jump in the back seat."
Yeah.
Jump in the back seat. Want to warm up for a couple minutes?
Yeah.
And you're freezing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
snowing. It's 3 feet of snow. You're walking outside. You're too young to want to go inside and hide someplace because God forbid they do a check on you. So you're freezing. You're sitting there shivering. 2 old guys, "Hey, jump in the back. You
Yeah,
want
we
to
got
jump?"
you.
You get in the back seat. And it's all a ploy. And they go, "What are you doing? Close the door." Because the minute you close the door locks,
get out.
right?
Yeah.
So the salty guy would go, "What are you doing? Close the door. I'm freezing. I don't have a jacket on." Because these guys are in
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
You close the door, now you're locked in. They take off and they drive to another sector.
Yep.
And then they call you over the radio.
Oh, they didn't do this to me.
So what's
I
this?
didn't get this
That's a
play.
good one, though.
I didn't get this play.
And again, sometimes the rite of passage was something fun and,
To get in
and
trouble.
fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't
They
all
mess you
corrupt.
up.
Yeah.
Then they break your horns by call you over the radio.
Yeah.
Now your
Yeah.
supervisor, here's your
Here's
call sign, your
yeah.
RP number, your radio
yeah,
phone.
he goes to look for you.
Now, what's your and these guys in the front seat are go, "Come on, man, don't drop me back off, don't do this." And they go, "What's your location?" "Come on, don't do this. Answer." And they tell you the answer. It's all the rite of passage. So sometimes it was fun. It
That's
was
fun.
Good,
Yeah,
harmless
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
And when you went through the gauntlet, you passed that test, and it was a brotherhood, and you truly
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
You became part of the Blue family, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
Like those
yeah.
little things were. And once you were in, you were in.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And now it's up to you to individually
Then you
navigate.
decide where you're going to be.
That's
there.
why
Yeah.
when you if you listen to some of the comments in the 7-5 documentary, you'll hear a guy say, or I would say, "They would never give me up.
right.
And that's where I want to go next.
They would
yeah.
never give me up."
Yep.
Because,
They're your boys. We're tight.
Because whatever was going on, you sanctioned it because you didn't say anything and you backed them up. It was just a cultural.
Yeah.
I don't know what we call
Fair to say at that time, They can't say anything because they got their own stuff
They got
going
their
on,
own
right?
shit going on. Yeah.
Everybody's doing something
Everybody's
they shouldn't
doing a
be
little
doing.
bit of something they shouldn't be, and that's why everybody gets tested along the way. You have to break a rule to be trusted.
And it wasn't our
That was the
generation,
day.
but it was the generations before us that said internal affairs is set up to poison us, to jam us up.
Right.
That's 2 generations before us.
Right.
So that mindset was already set. Like
Right.
like you said, like look out for each other.
Yeah.
Don't rat. Keep your mouth shut. Don't
Yeah.
talk about nothing.
Yeah.
Whatever the report says, that's 2 generations. So that was being still dragged on when we came on a job.
Yeah, and then in 68, 1968 was race riots in this country. Okay, and we were trained by those guys
Yeah.
Right.
because they came out of the academy early.
Yeah.
They were in the academy 2 weeks. These guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were jackboot
Oh, yeah.
thugs.
The sticks.
They had sticks and bats and hats. They called them hats and bats back then, and that's what they did. They went out beating people up because that's what they were told
And then
to
they
do.
taught you guys.
And then they
These are
trained
the guys
us.
saying
and
you
they
wanna have a
trained
beer.
us.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, that makes-
They were our
that's-
FTOs. So, and they were all Vietnam vets, most of them. You know, some of Korean or Vietnam vets. So they were war heroes to begin with. So no one fucked with them.
Yeah.
And if they did get fucked with, the bosses had a problem. Because these guys would turn on them in a second because they all had PTSD from Vietnam.
Oh yeah, they were hands on.
They thought those were the best people to do the job back then. They
Exactly.
probably
Get
did.
out there and kick ass. That's what it was. So we were trained by them in the early 80s.
Yeah. And I experienced those guys before I even came on a job. I was a cop's kid, but I was a shithead in the street. So I was getting tuned up by those old Korean war. These guys, man, they had the old cut off, like they had the goon squad. They had legitimate goon squads.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Oh,
Slap
And you
Jacks
hear
and
this
all that.
like, you know, it was like the Sasquatch. Like, you know, you never saw it, but you heard about it. And you heard about the goon squad with these guys with the wool
and you
coats
met
and
them.
and you
And your
did.
dad was a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then eventually when you're exposed to these guys, you hear about them. Holy good God, they really exist. I mean, that's like you know that was the culture back then. But
They used to call them tactical patrol back then.
Tactical
Some
patrol.
TPF.
Yeah. And like in fairness, police get a bad rap right now. Not every one of them's doing bad stuff. This is a time and a moment.
The police job is the most difficult job in the world.
Giovanni, Michael, we got to take a little short break, and we come back. We'll go into how your career in the PD transferred from being legitimate to how the corruption comes
Sounds
up.
good. Yeah, look forward.
Welcome back to Inside the Life with Michael Dowd. We were kind of talking before the break. You've been going through your career, and there's little things happening. You know, guys are having beers, guys are getting rid of tickets or whatever. But now, I think it kind of started with you saw the cocaine bag, started leading into like what you really saw going on in the streets, and maybe what drew you toward the more serious stuff.
So everything's a process. I think you guys would know that, and I hope your listeners understand it. I didn't take the job to be corrupt. Once I took the job and started to be a police officer, I enjoyed being a cop.
Yeah.
And I was very active my first year and a half. Like I made like 47 arrests.
Okay.
In like a year and a half.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. And all felonies, but mostly all felonies. You know, so it was pretty active. And then at some point you become smitten. You know, like this isn't working. There's no appreciation. I feel under. You know, I guess I need a little ego boost now and then. I felt underappreciated. Maybe I'm a little immature. I'm still a little immature, as you guys know. But so at some point, I start to realize that I'm broke. And the people, and it's the 80s, and the streets loaded with money. People don't understand how much money was in that street. Everybody between 15 and 45 years old had a kilo, a gold chain, and a stack of hundreds in there, and a gooseneck equalizer inside their Jaguar, their Mercedes, and their BMW. And I was driving a 79 Honda, back and forth to work. And
you're in the 7.5 at this point.
at this point, I'm in the 7.5, and I'm seeing the speed of the street in the 7.5. Hold on.
Yeah.
Just hold on. And everybody's got something going. So what is that? Sounds a little heavy, right? Everybody's got something going on. But basically they do.
Well, the 7.5 describe it to us. It was the most violent.
It was the
in
most
that era.
dangerous precinct in the city at the time. And if you look today, it probably still is. Okay. And so there's, there'd be weekends with like 10, 12 murders.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
know, like
Just in one
one
precinct?
weekend, in one house.
Wow.
They had
Oh,
they've had what they called the Palm Sunday Massacre was in East New York. I think it was 10 or 11 people murdered in one house. These are the scenes that you came across, and I'm only on the job now like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're exposed to all this heavy stuff, and then you start to see the money, and it just keeps showing up, and you keep turning your head to it, and then the drugs are showing up. Eventually, every job is either drug related, rape, homicide, robbery. There's no burglaries. It's all robberies.
Robberies, yeah.
Because they're going in to rob the people, whether they're in there or not. So you got robberies, rapes, murders, assaults, domestic violence.
And in that precinct, there's not guys looking to come in from other NYPD houses and precincts. Guys aren't going, hey, I want to go work in a 7-5.
I'm going to tell you something. They all loved the 7-5.
They did.
They loved working.
Why? Because it is just
because
the
it was
wild west?
wild, wild west.
Yeah.
You didn't have any, there was no throttle.
Okay, right.
You just went in there and you did whatever.
whatever.
You were the boss.
Yeah.
Your boss was hoping you showed up and that he wouldn't have to call him.
Okay.
Because it was putting your finger in the dike.
Yeah.
It was
whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Right.
So it was a good time to be a cop, which gave guys like who became corrupt, like myself, a lot of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the first jobs I can describe, so there was many, but one of the first real serious ones where I was on the bubble of corruption was, I mean, so like I may forget one or two things along the way, but this job in particular was a homicide scene. We get called to a shooting. Show up. We don't know it's a homicide yet. It's a shooting. Right. Show up, and it's a tray bag spot. I don't know if you're familiar with a tray bag spot. It's a make-believe candy store with like paper plates with little signs.
The signs with
little,
the prices and what's on for sale.
Yeah. Just little paper plates stuck in a window, and there's a little slot, and you put your money in. You get a sucker, like for a nickel sucker, and a $3 bag of marijuana. So it's a tray bag spot.
Yep.
So that's what it exists for.
Yep.
So they put the little candy in there, so that's why they exist for the candy.
Legitimizes it.
So we show up to the scene. There's a guy. You see the door ajar. So it's the entrance door and then a door into the service area. And the door's ajar. So I go to push the door. I'm going to investigate a shooting. No one's there. No one's there but me. I push the door. I can't get the door open. So, but it's open. But I can't get it open. So now I'm pushing and pushing, and I sneak in. The guy's laying on the door. Yeah.
Yep.
And with that, from out of the back room runs a kid, and he jumps down. He starts doing CPR.
Really?
Just some kid that was already there?
What do I know?
Not a cop or
What
nothing,
do I
though,
know?
right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what you're
just a
walking
guy, a local guy gets down. I don't know him. All of a sudden he's doing CPR. He's like, my friend. And he sees the blood on his hands, and he wipes his hands off. And to my right is the marijuana and stacks of money. So I know he did this. So I go, because intuitively I knew his reaction. I don't know him. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
But his reaction was bad.
Yeah.
So there's money, there's this, that, call for boss, crime scene. The guy's dead. And he's only dead a couple minutes, but he's dead.
But he's blocking the door. That kid can't get out. He's a caged rat. He can't get out. That's why he's stuck.
This kid's blocking the door.
Just so these guys understand, you're talking about Spotty Spence. There's no reason this kid runs over, starts doing CPR.
No.
I want the listeners to know what we know.
Yeah.
That's unusual.
Yeah, yes.
And him getting blood in his hands and wiping it off. That's him saying his DNA is on me because
I wasn't near this. I didn't do this.
You knew you had your shooter.
When he touched the blood,
You knew he's your killer.
I knew he was my killer because he wiped his hands off.
Yep.
When your friend is dead,
Yeah, you
the
don't
last
do
thing
that.
you're worried about,
Right.
the last thing you're worried about is your blood, his blood on your hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is your friend. You love him. You care about him. You're going to lay on top of him to save his life.
You should be seeing some emotion out of him.
Exactly. He goes like, he starts washing his hands. Like, okay, here we go.
So you know he's your killer.
So I know that, yes. But of course, I don't know, but I know, right? So I do all this, and then there's a stack of hundreds. Nice little neat stack of hundreds. Back then, they were neat, too. And I take the hundreds, and I put them in my pocket. Long story short, the bosses come, everybody comes, and in comes the boss. Here's the marijuana, here's the cash. And the boss goes, is that it? It's almost like he's asking me, is there anything else?
Right.
That's
Like
your guilt.
Dowd, I know there's something else.
Yeah.
Like that. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about the
I think
100
it's
in my
like these
pocket.
$800 in my pocket.
Okay.
He goes, he looks at me. He goes, is that it? Like, I'm like, that's it? I said, I just didn't want it to get blood stained. I don't know what to tell the guy. I didn't want it to get blood stained because it's needle hundreds. That night we go out having a couple of cocktails. He shows up. He hung out with us a bit. He was an old time boss. He was at that time had 20 years on the job. So I had like 3. He had like 20.
Yeah.
Actually, I had 2. He had 20. So it was a lot of respect for the guy. He comes out with the boys, which is rare. And he says, I go, can I ask you a question? Jim Otto, what a nice man, though. What a nice gentleman. He was a gentleman, but, you know. He goes, I go, I gave you that money. He goes, I wanted to punch you in the fucking head. He said, you could have gave me that money later. He said, if you show up at the scene and you're the only one there, whatever's there is yours.
Really?
You're being taught this
Yeah.
by a guy for 20 years.
Yeah.
You respect.
This guy's dead. He can't use it no more. And it's drug money. And we all know. All right. So I'm like, Jesus Christ. that changed everything. That changed everything. Like, I'm vouchering money, vouchering drugs.
You're
I'm like,
turning everything in like
so
you're
in other words,
supposed
so
to.
you're telling me is if I get there first, it's only on me to decide what to do. You know, the discretion that we have, you know, in the street.
Yeah.
Now I'm like discretion on the money, discretion on the drugs. A lot of discretion going on here, and I know how to make discretionary moves in my benefit.
Right.
So that was the beginning of my whole thought process changing.
And your thought process changed in a way of your activity, I would imagine, too, because now when you had that mindset, did you become more active as a cop to find more crime scenes to
That's
go
all
to?
I found.
You did more
I
field
was the
checks?
first one to every crime scene in the city.
Where can I go? Where can I get to?
Did you lock
faster?
that kid up?
Here's how he goes. Squad comes in, detectives, and they say, what do you think? Now, Mike Redmond, biggest gangster detective you ever met in your life. He goes, what do you think? I go, him. He goes, why? I said, because the way he wiped his hands with the blood. He goes, okay. He goes to the hospital. They interview the kid, and they go, the guy's saying you did it. The guy, he's dead.
Yeah.
The guy's saying you did it. He goes, what? He goes, yeah, he's alive. He
survived.
He
Yeah.
came out of it. He's saying you did it. He goes, I told that motherfucker to stop fucking with the girls.
Oh, God.
He admitted it.
He was mad that he was banging his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he admitted it.
He admitted it. Guess what he got? 3 years.
Wow.
He was done at the MAP hearing, which I don't know if you're familiar
Yeah.
with the MAP hearing.
They
He was
already
done at the MAP hearing. He took a plea, went home 3 days later
Good God. Really?
for murdering his best friend.
This guy does murder in front of you, gets 3 years.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
20 year
like, this is
detective
nice. This is nice.
telling you to take money. You're like, there's no good sense. I don't do anything good.
This is, I mean, it's like opening the candy store
Yep. Yep.
to a guy who likes candy.
That changes your whole dynamic. So you're out there running the street. Who do you team up with? Because now you can't be a one-man show.
You can never be a one-man show. That's the thing. Especially in, first of all, you have partnership.
Yeah.
Just two guys in the car, you know?
Right.
So no matter what, you have to split it and share it, and it has to be trust. So that's the development, what ends up with Kenny Eurell.
How do you come to be with Kenny, partnered up?
He was light, but he was physically abusive a bit, and a heavy drinker.
Okay.
But he was a good athlete, and guys liked him in that respect.
Yeah.
But he was a boss fighter, which cops like.
Okay.
But his nickname was Scummer, and I didn't know why. So one day I go to him, why do they call you Scummer? He goes, because I'm a scumbag. I said, oh, okay. Now we're partners, like 2-3 months at this point. I finally say, why do you keep calling you Scummer?
Yeah.
He goes, because I'm a scumbag. I go, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction to him. And then when we finally hook up, as I say to him, look, bro, I just made $50,000 last week. Are you in?
What was your yearly salary, Ben?
When I made the 50, I'd probably be making $27,000 a year.
Right. So you doubled the salary. Yeah.
In that one, well, it was one hit. It was a score.
Yeah.
It was when I had Chicky get the car, and bro, if you guys go to the movie,
Yep.
there was no car. Chicky had his car in the shop. I said, go steal a fucking car. I got a bag of money in some house in East
Yeah.
New York. You got to get back. Chicky was on the job. He left. He couldn't come back. There's a lot of backstory that people might miss if they see the documentary, or maybe if I do actually come out with the book, I could put it in it. But I'm still working on that.
Yeah, but you had that relationship. So now you told him I made this 50 and that enlightened him. And he was like, okay.
He was like, I said, you're locking up people for having a fight with their wife. Back then you didn't have to do it.
Right.
Back then,
Yeah, you didn't have to,
You had
right.
discretion as long as no
Right.
one was injured. If there was an injury, they had to go,
Right.
which was understandable,
Right.
But so he made a domestic collar like twice a week. So he'd spend the whole night in central booking, and he'd make his overtime. He'd make 40 hours a month every month, and that was how he lived his life.
Yeah.
I said, you don't have to work overtime. Just hang out with me. We'll make some money.
Right.
So it was an easy sell. Come on. I mean,
So now it's game on.
Game on.
So you guys decide instead of the quick hits, the domestics, the this, the
Yeah.
that, the first responder calls.
yeah, no.
You start
You
targeting.
never give up the murders, the homicides, because that's where there's a reason the guy's dead.
Yeah.
Right.
It's money and drugs in the ghetto. It's money and drugs. That's why he's dead. So you want to be the first one there. So we end up responding to things like that and make a couple small scores. Nothing big in the beginning. Then we had a couple of mishaps where we missed 12, 15,000 in cash. He got mad at me. He thought I was setting him up. We had a fight.
Your partner?
Yeah. I go, Kenny, what the fuck, man? He goes, there's 12,000. I said, 12,000 is nothing. I'm not looking for $12,000. I'm looking for fucking bags of cash.
Yeah.
well, that's a lot of money to me. I go, well, you're a cheap motherfucker. What do you want me to tell you? I'm not looking to take a kid. I'm not looking to take someone's life savings.
But you're
I'm looking to take
taking-
a drug dealer's stash.
Yeah.
And you're taking 50 grand off some drug dealers, and they know you're there. Like, what about the streets? Are they talking about this cop that's taking money? Like, we worry about somebody whacking you out in the street?
No, I don't worry. You can't worry about that.
Yeah, okay.
You don't worry about that.
All right.
That's bullshit.
So you had no.
I'm going to get you first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm looking for you.
Yep.
You're on my list. Because if you got 50, I'm looking for the next 100.
And if he opens his mouth and says anything about you and your partner, then
There's going to be a problem.
Right. Right.
We go right to their house.
You did.
Oh, yeah.
Gentlemanlike, or did you? How did you start? How did you start shaking them down? The drug dealers.
Well, so there's difference. You have street shakedowns,
Yeah.
and then payoffs. There's no shaking down big guys. You know, you have agreements with big guys because they got power too. You know, and that's how you operate it.
Well, that was at your largest. When you guys were
Right.
at your heyday, you were doing the payouts, right? You were
getting
paid
payoffs. Yeah.
But you had the shakedowns too, where you were just doing
Shakedowns
roll-ups?
is street stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Just
like
roll-ups,
the
running
guys sitting with knots. They don't know how much money they have on them.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So I used to just clip a couple hundred off everybody, and I'd put the money back in their pocket.
Okay. So they. Yeah.
I'd peel. They always had 100 on the outside.
Yeah.
So I took the first 100 out of every knot that they had.
Yeah.
So, but 3-4 times a day, you're talking $400-$500 easy a day. It was like an ATM machine. It
And
was
they
like having an
didn't
ATM
even-
many on every corner.
Wow.
They didn't even blink about it. They didn't care.
What do you do? Call the police?
No,
You got to call the police on me? Go ahead. Actually, I had one problem. I tell you, it's an interesting story. I'll try to, because there's so many of them. So I shake a guy down. I'm working with my neighbor, and he doesn't really know me yet. He's my neighbor, but he doesn't know me in the police job. He just knows that I'm a little crazy. He's gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
He doesn't really know what's going on. So I rob a guy for $500, something like that, right in front of him. He don't know about it. I didn't announce I'm taking his money.
Right.
And I get I get 10-1 the precinct. So I call the precinct. He says, Lieutenant Dirtiest on the desk, nicest guy in the world. I used to bring in his Heineken, and he's on the desk, and he goes, "There's someone at the gate trying to make a complaint that you robbed them." I go, "What?" He goes, "I'm sure you didn't." He goes, "Well, they're trying to make a complaint, so come in the front, not the back, because he's at the front gate, and cut this off at the pass." I said, "Okay." So I come in the front, and I'm looking for the car because I want to put the money in the car and say, "You fucking jerk off, it's in your car."
Right.
I can't find the car. So I come in the front gate and I go, "What are you guys doing?" "Oh, officer, there's $500 and $5 bills missing from my money." I go, "Oh, really? Did you look in your car?" They go, "We looked, we couldn't find it." I go, "Where's your car?"
Man.
6 blocks away. They parked the
parked 6
fucking car
blocks?
6 blocks from the precinct, so I couldn't get them. Right? I don't know 6 blocks away.
Right.
So I go, let's go to your car.
Let's go to your
Let's
car.
go to your car and check. I think it's probably in the back seat where it fell out.
I'll help you look.
I'll help you look. So we're walking there and I'm bullshitting. I go, "You guys making this complaint is going to cost me 10 days vacation minimum if I don't get suspended." "Oh, we don't want you to get in trouble." I says, "Well, you should have been very thorough about looking through your car, So I get them back to their car. I open the car door. I throw the money on the floor. I go, "See, it's right here." "Oh, we looked there. We didn't see it." I says, "You need to open your fucking eyes next time
Right.
and look very carefully before you go to make a complaint.
Wow.
If I ever see you again, you're going to fucking jail." Because they had marijuana, cocaine, and heroin on
Yeah.
them that I let them go for. But the 500 they got pissed off about. You see, you never do a good favor. No good deed goes unpunished. I gave you
Your
freedom.
whole way of
that
thinking
freedom
is-
wasn't worth 5.
Yeah.
Because it's 5,000 for the lawyer to say hello. 2 nights in the pen, maybe 3, and then maybe bail or not. Because I'm sure you got warrants, you motherfucker.
Right.
We're gonna take a break because you're gonna transition now from doing this like street level
Yeah.
to just robbing people, and it's gonna start turning into like the bigger stuff, right? So we'll come back and start there. Welcome back to Inside the Life. Michael Dowd. We're talking about your corruption in NYPD. You're doing street level robberies, taking money off of people, dope dealers.
Is there a time when somebody pushed back on you guys? Any of the guys you were working with that were paying you protection money?
So I would say this. It wasn't so much the people in the street. The department was starting to push back.
Okay.
There was a groundswell. And so then they had the 7-7 precinct get snapped. 13 cops get arrested at the 7-7. Of course, it's all over the news. It's embarrassing. And everybody starts to tuck their tail in and turn around. And go
Now,
the
just
other
for
way.
everybody listening, the 7-7 got caught up in a RICO. RICO was being used. It was being introduced back then.
Right.
Racketeer, influence, and corrupt organizations.
Yeah, I was charged with
Right.
that. Yeah.
So, were you familiar with RICO back then?
No.
Here in the museum, Mike, we have a section bringing down the mob.
Right.
And it highlights the whole RICO statute and
Right.
how it came to be, how it was used against some of the organized crime guys. And you already answered the fact that you didn't know about the RICO charges back then.
So I knew of them, but I didn't know how they would apply.
Right.
Like, and so I didn't walk around saying I'm going to get charged with RICO.
Yeah.
But I did have someone come to me once. It was a cousin of mine who said to me, there's a RICO Act.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what he meant by it and applying to me. But he knew what I was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But you knew that wave came into 7-7, those guys got locked up. So did you feel a level of comfort or did you feel heightened alert?
No, it was a heightened alert, and the whole job changed.
Yeah.
In the respect that everybody started to circle back
Right.
and cover their trails, and guys quit.
Ethics
I
boards
was-
were looking at you guys more.
Yeah. And that's not easy to leave a police job, by the
No,
way,
no, it's
just to
not at all.
walk away.
Yeah.
Because you've invested a lot, time, energy, and it's become you. It's
comfortable.
It's become you. And guys quitting.
Yeah.
So 3, 4, 5 guys either quit. Like one guy became a roofer. I mean, who wants to become a roofer? But
He wanted out.
he wanted out. Another guy, a lot of guys transferred to like court offices.
Okay.
Who wants to sit in the
Yeah.
courthouse all
Yeah.
day? No one.
Yeah.
Guys went to Carolinas, to Florida, things like that were happening.
Okay.
Bing, 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 they were leaving. And basically, in the end, I was basically the only one left standing, essentially, in the 7-5.
And making too much money to leave.
Yeah, I couldn't.
In your
I
mind, right?
couldn't leave. I had that. I couldn't leave.
You're married at this point?
I'm married
Kids?
now. I have a kid or two. Kid and one. Yeah. So yeah.
How much money are you getting at this point too? Like you're talking about, like you
Well,
can't
I'd
leave.
forget to pick up my check.
So you're making. I mean, you said in the 80s, 90s, you were taking 50,000 in a
Well,
week.
listen. So that was a score.
Okay,
50,000 score.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's one lump. That doesn't happen every day.
And you
The whole-
said you're not, I want to say you're not picking up your check. And that's important.
Yeah.
Because in the station house, your check is picked up. And if you don't pick it up, everybody knows you're not
Everybody
picking it up.
knows because
It's not automated.
They have to count every shift.
They're not getting cash.
Every shift, the desk officer opens up the check box and checks how many checks are in the box. It's supposed to. You
You're
might
going
not.
weeks. You're going weeks or months without picking
No.
up.
I would
Maybe
say
2 or 3 cycles.
there's been like 2 or 3 checks left in there.
But people know it, right?
Yeah, people notice. Yeah.
Normally, cops.
And
are
I got
waiting in
plenty of
line.
money on me, and they know that too, because you're young and stupid.
Yeah.
You're flashing cash like a fool,
showing.
Then you bring the vet, you put it in the lieutenant's parking lot.
You're driving a red vet.
At some
Right.
point,
Yeah.
not yet, but soon.
Okay.
But not with the 7-7 breaks. I'm not.
All right. So the 7-7 happens. Who pushes back on you? What guys that you were working with in the street?
So guys are leaving, so the heat starts, and the rumors. The PD's one big rumor mill, and the rumor mill is the 7-5, the 7-3. They're next. Who's next? And they're all saying who's next, and they're all looking at me. And they look at me because I'm a little bit higher in the profile, like my pinky ring. So but there's other guys that are doing what I'm doing, but not to my level.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody starts circling back and changing their operations, and I go off to eventually to Coney Island. I get sent to the Coney Island detail, so I'm like sort of like moved. They start moving people around, and
Not as easy to rob people in Coney
yes,
Island,
because
right?
you're not familiar.
New territory.
It's new
Yeah, right.
territory.
Start over.
Right. And it's a keen awareness that they're targeting me to move me because I'm not supposed to be moved. I'm a veteran. And they're supposed to come to me and ask me if I want to go. But when you look at the orders and you're on them and you go, there's a reason they're sending me, and it isn't because they like me.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know? So so it's an
So I know
awareness.
you know there's a good chance they're looking at you, but you still can't say no to this, and you can't.
Tough. It's very tough, but I stop
Okay.
for about 6 months or a year there. And then I come back to the 7-5. I come back to my first week back in the 7-5, and no one wants to work with me. I'm going, and the rumor mill's cranking.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm working for internal affairs.
You're working for internal affairs?
That's what they're saying.
They're saying it about
Yeah.
you. So you got
gotcha.
moved. You
I'm the
came
only-
back. Now you're
I'm the
you're
only
a
one
rat.
left.
They're saying you're a
I'm the
snitch.
only one
You're-
left
yeah.
standing, so now I'm working for internal affairs, and no one wants to work with me.
Oh, okay.
And there's nothing worse than if you're a social guy like me to be an outcast and no one wants to work with you. So I had
They don't want to work with you because you're dirty. They don't want to work with you because they think you're
because
setting
I'm
them
internal
up.
Too much-
affairs.
Good
Yeah.
God. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not about the dirt. Because they've all had dirt.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't want to work with me because I'm still surviving from the dirt.
Right. Right.
So they think I'm wired up. They don't know. They don't.
But
they don't
meanwhile,
know.
you're the dirtiest of them, but truly.
Amen.
Yeah. You're the Godfather.
Thank the Lord. Yeah, thank you.
You're the one.
There's one thing about being a dirty cop is you're always a dirty cop.
Yeah.
Once you're a dirty cop, you can wash cars, wash your underwear, change your shirt every day. You're still a dirty cop.
Yeah.
The credibility's
never
gone.
goes away.
Credibility's gone.
Yeah. And the problem was with being a good cop again is no one trusted you. This guy's doing the right thing now. Something's wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's not in character.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
So at what point do you hook up with, you had the pushback. Some guys push back on you.
Yeah, basically the job is pushing back on us, and guys aren't wanting to work with you, so you feel that.
When are you introduced to the drug dealer, Adam Diaz?
I meet the car, Auto Sound City in the warehouse. He's putting these big systems in these big, expensive drug dealers' cars. So we know whose clients are drug dealers. I mean, back then it was $20,000 for a system. Who's putting $20,000 in a car?
Right.
Not me, and certainly not the local businessman.
Yeah.
So it's the local drug dealers. So I meet a guy whose clientele is all drug dealers.
Yep.
Eventually, I established a really bonding relationship with the business guy. And really, it was semi-innocent, and it wasn't about the drug dealing patrons. But I hang out with the guy. I go see him, have a couple of beers. He puts the new the Benzie box. You know what a Benzie box is? Benzie boxes were the 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
You took your radio out of your car because people were breaking your
carry it with you?
Carry
Yeah,
it
I
with
got
you.
you. Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
So I had 5 Benzie boxes. Okay. And he did my Benzie boxes every time. All right. So, and of course, I got them for free.
Yeah.
And so, long story short, we become fast friends. And one day, one thing leads to another, and I find some drugs, and I bring it to him, and he goes, I can get rid of it, whatever. And then eventually, he says, look, all my clients, I go, I know your clients. I know half of them. You know, I don't know their names, but I know who they are. He goes, I got one guy, it's 4th of July weekend. He'd like to know if he can use your resources. And I go, it's 4th of July weekend. You're safe.
Yeah.
Because bombs are going off all over the street. They're going to be in a 100-job backlog. And most details get sent to the parades and stuff like that. So even undercover narcotics puts a uniform on that day most of the time. So because they're short-staffed for parades and all these events around the city. I go, you're safe. You have a good weekend. Don't worry.
So he's asking you for resources as far as protection moving when he goes to move his product.
No, he's a dime to 50-piece spot.
Okay.
He's a spot.
Right.
Yeah. He's up
He
on.
wants to know that his spot's good
He
for
wants
the
to
weekend.
know
Because he's going to make a lot of
Because
money.
it's 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
He's going to be cranking it out, and he just wants to feel safe and protected.
And you
so
gave
I
him
go,
the
you're
blessing.
safe and protected.
Yeah.
I don't know.
don't
You're
have to do
safe and
anything. You
protected.
just tell him that.
Well, I rolled the dice.
Yeah.
He had a really good weekend, but like any schmuck, he wants to short me. So he shorted me $700.
Okay.
I just risked my whole career for this $8,000 that you gave me. Not a bad weekend's pay, right?
Yeah.
And he shorted me $700, which turned into a big tiff. And I wouldn't rest on it. And I made it clear. And he put a hit on me.
Over $700?
Well, I closed his business. I closed his business down.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I parked
His corner, his spot's gone.
I parked the police cars in front of my friends. I paid them $1,000. I said, here's $1,000. Sit in front of this guy's spot.
Wow.
When I'm not working. When I was working, I was in front of his spot. I go home one day, I got a 911 pager, you got to come in, blah, blah, blah. I go see Barron at the Auto Sound City spot, and he says, they put a hit on you. I said, okay. And the guy, Cello was his name.
Yeah.
And I was working that day. Kenny wasn't in. I was working with internal affairs girl, Lisa. And I went right to his spot, and the first thing I saw was, I never met the guy, never saw the guy. I saw his car a couple of times. He had one of those hooked up Renault. I don't know if you're familiar, but the Renault with the fins around it. It looks like it's a Mercedes. It's all hooked up looking. He's got this Renault, and I pulled him over. I never met him before in my life, and I tell Lisa, this is a friend of mine. I want to talk to him. I'll be sit tight.
You got the internal affairs
Yeah,
girl
she's
riding with
internal
you?
affairs. She has
Okay.
no idea what's going on, but they put her with me all the time.
Yeah. Huh.
Strange, huh? I wonder why. And so I pull a guy over, license registration. He's like this. He gets his license registration. I'm praying. This is how sick I was. I'm praying a gun falls out. I'm going to kill him.
Really?
I'm going to kill him.
This is the guy that owes you $700?
Yeah. I'm not going to kill him for the $700. He put a hit on me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to kill him.
When you walk up to the window, does he know it's you?
No. He never met. He's never met me.
So it's vice versa.
Yeah, he's never met me.
Yeah.
But I know it's him because of the car.
Right, of course.
So he's done. Now, I'm a little intimidating. I'm not a big guy, but I'm 6 foot tall. I got a hat on. I got my shoes on. I'm 6'2". He's in a Renault down by the ground. You know, I'm standing over him, looking in his car. I'm 200 pounds. I don't know. I don't ever met the guy. I don't know what he looks like, but I'm standing over him. And I go, license registration. He hands me his license registration. I take his license registration. I throw it in his lap. And I go, you put a fucking hit on me? And he looks up at me and he turns the color of the whitest thing you ever saw in your fucking life. He goes, I said, why don't we do it right now? Get out of the car. Anyway, you've seen the movie. It's the facts. That's what I said to him. And he goes, I go, I said, get out of the car. We'll do it right now like men. We'll do a Mexican standoff. Nah, I'm crazy. You walk 10 paces that way. I'll walk 10 paces this way. We'll turn around, see who wins. Deal? Yeah. He goes, no, I'm sorry. I go, take the fucking hit off me right now and don't have, whatever. Yep. I get in the car. I leave. 15 minutes later, my pager goes off. I come to the shop. I go to the shop.
The stereo shop?
$700 on the table. He says, sorry, let's just end it here. End it like this.
Right.
Turns out, I didn't notice, the guy had 28 murders.
Wow.
Whoa.
He had 28 murders. So he was a serious guy. Yeah. So when you get in the game, you don't know where it's going to go.
Yep. Yeah. So at this point, you're no longer a cop. You might be wearing a cop. You might have a badge and a gun and authority, but you're no longer a cop. You've now become a gangster.
Yeah, it's all out. It's over. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. And there comes a point here where I admit that to myself. I don't say it out loud, but I admit it to myself that it doesn't matter anymore.
No, because even your actions, Mike, even the way you're describing it, even the way you intimidated walking up to the car, you knew this guy wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
Like a gangster when he gives you when a loan shark gives you money and says this is a gentleman's loan.
Yeah.
Pay it to me when you can. You know damn well what's going to happen to you if you don't pay that money back, right? You got to pay the VIG.
Right.
And you knew in your heart of hearts, like, there's no way this guy's going to say, okay, let me get out of the car and we'll do the Mexican standoff.
Right.
So you truly...
Well, I'm not going to say that because I made the statement.
Sure.
And I would never back up.
Yeah.
I would never back down from my statement. So so I was hoping he would say no.
Right.
But I don't. If he said took it on, it was going down.
Yeah. But your result of being called back to that radio place and that $700 being there, you knew victory.
Oh yeah, I won.
I got my money. I got mine. I got my pound of flesh.
What it was more importantly was I proved my point. I didn't need the 700.
Right.
I didn't need somebody in the street saying that I wasn't who I said I was.
Right. So now you're even more of an animal in the street.
I'm done.
Because now it's
mentally, I'm done.
More powerful.
Yeah. Mentally, I'm done. I'm no longer a cop.
Yeah.
Really, like my mentality is just gangster.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's the truth.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bullshit. But I still was a good police officer.
Mm-hmm.
I did good police work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is why I was able to last another 5 years.
And you say I was a good police officer, and I understand. I think I understand what you're saying. I don't want to speak for you. If there was an old lady who had her purse stolen, the cop in you is going to kick in.
Yeah.
You're victimizing. Right, you're breaking the law. You're victimizing people, but you're victimizing those who victimize others.
Well, what does a wise guy victimize?
Right,
he doesn't victimize the guy selling groceries. Although, man, he victimizes people in a wise guy business.
So if there's an armed robbery, if there's a bank robbery, the cop, Officer Mike kicks in.
Officer Mike comes to
right. Officer Dowd kicks in.
I had women writing letters to the judge on my behalf.
Yeah.
After this life of mine.
Yeah.
Because of the kindness and the way I treated them. We're a lot of different things as human beings, and it's actually, I'm getting a little sad talking about
Well, that's what I want to ask you. Was there
because
still pride in what
talking
you
about
did?
this is actually embarrassing.
Yeah.
All right? Because I lost who I was when I entered.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a one of seven. I'm a one of 7 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And my father was a fireman, a well-respected.
Sure, he raised as an Irish Catholic.
He raised us in church every Sunday, whether we wanted to go or not.
Thou shalt not steal, right?
Yeah. I mean, so all that is, and even this conversation's hurting me a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not raised this way.
And I'm glad to hear you say that.
You become the animal. This animal in everybody, and it just keeps, the gray line that was here is now all the way over here.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're saying it, because sitting here talking to you, we're not here to glorify what you did.
It's embarrassing what I did.
It is, but you're in a different place now in your life.
Yeah.
Right. We'll get to that later, but I think people need to understand like what happened in your life, and it explains how you went from this wholehearted person, wanted to do good, uphold the Constitution. You had every bit of, but the street literally swallowed you whole. And
some people get taken in by it. They get it's charisma. It's charisma. The street talks to you. The glitz.
Yeah.
The sparkle
yeah,
jacket I
yeah,
wore in
yeah.
here for effect today.
Yeah.
You know, that the whole world is a show.
You know,
and it's
you're-
just a matter of what role you play in it.
You're showing up to work at the precinct in the 7-5 precinct with a candy apple red Corvette. I mean, you couldn't be more flamboyant if you tried. Like,
No.
Did you have this? Your family's at home. You're providing for your
You got me-
family.
That's all right. Yeah.
You got me crying, you motherfuckers.
No, I don't mean to do it.
Well,
But
it feels shitty to be shitty,
Yeah,
right?
no, it is shitty, and I'm embarrassed, you know,
you
for my
know,
family and
I
for
think
my,
that's
for my
human.
kids and,
Yeah.
and for the police department that I affected by that.
no, you're right. You know, but again, it shows how out of control you are at that point.
There's no control.
Nothing.
It's just straight ahead like a fucking bulldozer.
You're like Don Johnson showing up in New York precinct. Like,
I
you
was
know,
Don Johnson,
getting
wasn't I?
out with the clothes and the jackets and the
Yes.
Corvette and the
Exactly.
Miami Vice,
Right.
like in the middle of New York City.
I was raised on Miami
Dude,
Vice.
You couldn't be more.
It's a good show.
You couldn't be more offensive about it,
No.
right? The way I
I
picture it.
specifically pulled my vet into the lieutenant spot because one, I could.
Just because.
One,
right?
I could, and two, fuck you.
Yeah.
Just felt untouchable.
They asked you to be the PBA rep for the union,
Yeah.
Police Benevolence Association. They want you to be the delegate.
Yeah.
Like you had everything. Like at your fingertips. You were the puppet master. For all
Yeah,
intents.
the only thing is I wasn't in control of the show. I thought I was.
Right.
And we get so self-important. Our ego is so big
Yeah.
that you can't put it in any box. It's
So let's
just-
talk about that. Like you do lose control. Do you lose control because you start substance
No.
use? That didn't. That
nothing
was
to
just
do
for
with
fun.
That has nothing to do with it. Everybody
Really?
always defers to that.
Yeah.
The thing is, you probably would have been more aware if you weren't on it, but it wasn't about that. It was
Okay.
just you lose yourself in the whole mindset.
Right.
You're no longer what you start out to be, and you take on that personality, and it's hard to come back from that. Even after I end up eventually, as everybody might, I get arrested.
Right.
Even in prison, it's still in your head.
Yeah.
That whole mindset of getting over. Your whole life is still geared in that direction because it's a process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like you've turned the good Irish Catholic boy into this asshole.
When you took that first money, you gave away your moral compass.
It was over.
It was like
And
you said, you
but
can never come
but
back
you
from
don't
$1.
realize it.
Right.
And now you're deep into it, and you realize he just doesn't care. You're not scared of the PD.
I
You're
don't
not scared
care.
of the streets.
I
You just-
do not care.
You're just
Now you
all
have this
about
guy,
Michael
Adam.
Dowd.
I don't
Close-
care about anybody. So that's not accurate, I guess, in a way. Of course, I care about my family. I care,
Yeah.
but you don't realize that actually you don't care. You think you care.
Yeah.
I'll do anything for my family, but what you're doing is you're ruining it. So like that's where the whole dichotomy takes place.
Now you have this yin and yang with Adam, right? You get called back. His 700's there. Now you have the understanding with Adam. Does it just multiply and increases your business with Adam now?
It was a more of a controlled environment for me. It was less exposure.
Yeah.
No street level stuff. And it was we stepped up.
Yeah.
We were stepping up our game, and really odd to say this too. We stepped up our game from the street to
What are you doing for him?
nothing. So I say nothing, but of course to him it was everything.
Yeah.
I was offering him what I could give him, which is basically nothing. I'm a patrolman. We don't do undercover narcotics
you don't have
surveillance.
warrants and stuff.
The only thing I can do for him is point out things that I'm aware of.
You're hustling him.
I'm hustling him, but not, but with true intention.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm hustling him, hoping he buys the dream, and hoping along the way I can help his business. And the one thing I told him is, if any cop gets hurt in your operation, I'm turning myself in. That's
You
how
weren't giving him free.
That's how I justified the whole thing. So if a cop gets hurt at your location, if something goes down, like we're serious, I mean, not tripping over a fucking broken piece
Right.
of stone. If something goes down, if a cop gets hurt, I'm turning myself in, just so you know.
Yeah.
I said, other than that, I got you back. But if you hurt a cop, I'm turning myself in because I wouldn't be able to live with that.
Yeah.
That was the
And then
threshold.
we end up losing a cop, getting shot in the head.
Yes.
Robert Venable. I called his name John for years, so I apologize openly here. Because I never knew his first name. And just John rang a bell in my head because I think there was a John Venable that I knew the name from. But Robert Venable died as a result of not my actions, but the drug business in East New York.
And that affected you.
Yeah, it still does. Because people think that I sort of was sanctioning that type of behavior.
What happened to him?
There was a robbery of a spot,
Yeah, just a dope dealing spot.
a dope dealing spot. And so it was a turf war.
Okay.
And I didn't know about the turf war. And so one organization was trying to take a spot from another organization because there's big money involved. There's, $500,000 a day coming out of one door. All right. Al Sharpton is turning the city upside down. There's a fight on the subway between a black guy and an Italian guy. Just A fight, nothing to do with black or white.
Right.
But Sharpton hears about it. He turns it into a circus.
Okay.
He wants to make this thing blow up for his own benefit. Transit PD goes out and picks up these two guys. How they found them? How they found them? I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
But they get the Italian guy from from Howard Beach, and the black guy from East New York or Brownsville, I forget. And they're taking them back to the substation to interview them and squash this, so the Sharpton can't blow the whole thing up. On the way back down Pickens Avenue, they get flagged down. So the drug spot owner flags down the police because he wants his spot back. He goes, there's a guy in there, da, 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 da. So the cops don't know what they're walking into because there's transit cops. But they're underground, not above ground. But the cop car, they get flagged down. They get out. Now this guy, Robert Venables, 6'4", hero.
Yeah.
Hero, right? He opens the door to save the day, and the guy's standing there with a machine gun. And he's up the stairs because he sees the cops coming.
Yeah.
He runs up the stairs, and the cops open the door, Venable and whoever he's with. Venable's in plain clothes, but there's a couple of cops, transit forces in uniform. And the guy turns around on the staircase. He sees the guy. He sees the badge, and he fires a shot and hits him straight in the fucking head. Because of the angle he was on. He was up the stairs. And so when the 6'4" guy's standing there, he shoots. He's not shooting here.
Right.
He's shooting right at his head. He goes down. The sergeant carries him out over the air. 10:13. I'm in the back of the station house with a guy in the car for armed robbery. I throw him out of the car.
Yeah.
Get out. Just get out.
He's
got handcuffs on. I just say, get out. Go into the precinct. And she's given the wrong location. It's Bradford. No, she's saying Thadford. No, it's Bradford. I'm telling over the radio, it's Bradford. I show up first on the scene. The sergeant's carrying him in uniform. He goes, he's a cop. I open the door. Me and Kenny open the door. We throw him in the back seat. We're not going to wait for the ambulance. This guy's going to die, bleed out. And I can't even believe the story. In jumps a housing cop. So you got a transit cop and a housing cop and the NYPD. The transit cop sergeant drops him into the car and he's shot.
Yeah, he's done.
He's shot.
Yeah.
And the guns, the smoke, the smell from the gun, shots are still going off.
He's fresh.
It's still going off. So, because there's other people firing rounds.
Shooting out.
So I get him in the car and I hit the fucking Zingo and Mark 1. I didn't see a thing. Lights, no sirens.
Yep.
Because I got to hear.
Yep.
I hit the siren at Livonia and Penn because
The hospital near coming.
it's a train track. I can't see.
Oh.
So I go opposite traffic. I just go like this. I went like this. Sucked in. Because I don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
The door isn't closed. He's 6'4".
He's too long.
He's too long. The door's not closed. There's a cop in the back holding the door closed. All right? And they're doing CPR. Kenny, bitch, he's doing CPR. He goes, what do? I go, pump on his chest. Do something. So they're telling me I'm driving the car and giving directions now. I don't know. I can't drive and do that too.
Yeah.
Right.
Get to the hospital, and he ends up passing about 4 hours later.
Okay.
So it was.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I'm physically, living it.
Yeah.
So
just telling it.
It's horrible, and
Sure.
so he passes, and of course, when I tell the story, people are like, "That's your fault," because I was involved.
'Cause you were
protecting people
them.
in the area, not that location,
Not that spot.
not those people.
Right.
I wasn't involved with those people. It might have been a cello relationship.
Okay.
You take a little blame from
did
it,
you-
though?
did you take
feel some of
pause?
that?
Did I what?
Do you feel like he said? Did you feel some blame for it?
I actually, I felt responsible in a way, and responsible to try to. I couldn't bring him back, but
Right.
try to personally solve this case. So, and it goes. There's more to it that I can't get into right
And
now.
that's a
Right.
difficult situation. I think we've been in, those back seats, getting somebody to the hospital, whether it's a cop, whether it's a civilian.
Yeah.
And you feel that adrenaline dump later, right? Like, just sitting here.
I'm exhausted now just
I know,
thinking
because,
about it.
it's like running 10 marathons,
Yeah.
right?
And there's no solace in that because
No.
because there's nothing I can do.
No, but you have to process.
And you still feel guilty.
Yeah.
And during the process after, like, that's what I'm asking you. Did you take pause and say, man, I played a part in this, or maybe did I play a part in it, or it just like
so that the maybe hits you, that because you want to preserve your own self,
Sure.
I mean, and I've gotten shit for it from guys,
Sure.
you're responsible for, I'm going to get it from saying this, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is,
Right. And then you gave it some time, a day, and then right back to it, right?
Yeah, maybe.
You process,
But
you cleaned up.
you process everything quickly out there. But and
That's the job.
So then whatever you're doing, you're processing quickly because you can't. So
you didn't wallow
linger
in
on
it.
it. We went out and got drunk
And then-
all together. A lot of crying.
It's a party.
A lot of so just so people know, cops cry alone in the bathroom. It's a dump.
Yeah.
And when you're living a double life, it's doubly worse.
Yeah.
Because
can't even
you're,
imagine.
All the anxiety.
you're hurting yourself every day,
Right.
and you're hurting your family every day, and you know it.
Yeah.
Even though you think you're giving rewards to your family financially because of the risks you're taking, you live. I mean, I'm checking it. I'm driving to work freezing up at 30 years old.
Yeah.
I'm freezing up. Half of my body is freezing up.
Yeah.
Because I'm living a lie.
Yeah.
But you go right back to it now.
You go right back to it. As soon as your nerves get back. I mean, I'm pulling ambulances over and having them check me
Yeah.
Oh, because you don't feel good.
because I don't feel good. Yeah. Come here. What? Check me out. I'm just not right. Put the monitors on me for the girl goes, you're all right. That night I did a blast. I mean, that's how fucked up
You're
you
running
are.
that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
what
then-
brought you down?
Yeah.
What
How'd you
brought me
finally
down?
go down? Yeah.
Kenny's selling drugs in a bowling alley while he was retired with a 3/4 disability pension. I got him the pension to get rid of him because I knew he was dangerous. And then he's out selling drugs in a bowling alley in West Babylon, Long Island. He's a retired cop.
Yeah.
He never sold a drug in his life, by the way.
Never before then.
Even when he was working with me, he didn't sell nothing. He retires with a 3/4 disability pension. Now he needs extra cash.
Yeah. And he's not working with you anymore to go get it.
And he's getting the drugs from the 73rd precinct. His cousin was on patrol in the 73rd, and they were robbing everybody. And they were bringing the shit home to him. And then one week, it got really tight. Around Easter, the price of cocaine goes up because Colombians are very religious, and they don't ship cocaine around Easter. Just so you know.
Supply goes down.
Just so you know. So the supply goes down and the price goes up. And Kenny couldn't get any, so he calls me.
Yeah.
And now I become part of the loop.
Oh, okay.
He's already under the wire. He didn't know it. And now I become attached to it, and eventually I get taken down. 54 of us get taken down.
Wow.
6 cops.
And when you say he was dangerous at that time, he was dangerous to what you had going on, right?
He was a weak
cannon.
link. He was a weak link,
Right.
not a loose cannon,
right.
a weak link.
So better to get rid of him, let him
so
retire.
I got him a 3/4 disability pension for the rest of his life.
And you figure he's gone.
He's
out
gone.
Of the
He's out of the way, and then I get a phone call.
Right.
And I don't know what he's doing. I haven't seen him in 2 years. He goes, Mike, I need it. I go, I could get it in a minute.
What was he? Was he informant, or is it just
No.
he was on a T3? They had a
He
wiretap
didn't know.
on him.
He
You
didn't
didn't
know.
know it.
He didn't
I
know.
got you. Okay.
And then he gets a wire on him eventually.
Because they were looking at the 7-3, I would imagine that's kind of
When he's out after the arrests,
Yeah.
he's out on bail, and then he sets me up.
So you get him some dope one time, and then it's on.
So I get him a half a kilo of coke.
Yeah.
And then now I become the target. It shifts from him to me because
Bigger
Yeah,
fish.
the investigation.
he's retired on the 3/4. They don't care.
They want to get the guy on a job.
They want the guy on the job,
Right.
which is me. And they think that I'm running his shit, which I'm not. I have nothing to do with him.
one time.
One time.
Wow.
That's the way it rolls. That's the way it rolls. Shit rolls downhill.
And your demise comes how? I mean, you're doing business with him. When did you know it was the walls were closing in? Did you just come to work one day? Did you come knocking at the door?
After I made that contact with him in that realm, every day
You knew
shit,
the clock was ticking.
shit was happening every day after that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, this is not good. I see them everywhere. I mean, they were sitting there reading newspapers.
Surveillance on you
They were
everywhere.
reading newspapers in the rain. All right, dude. I know who you are. What are you doing? Like, what do you want me for? How do you have me? And why do you have me? And they did this for about 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Every day. I'm
Those
like,
3 to
fuck.
6 months, did you slow down at all? Or just kept dodging around them?
Did I slow down?
No way.
I
Probably.
don't think so. I was different. I was acting differently, and I was catching them. I've been catching them for years.
So you were more cautious. You were more
I was
aware.
more cautious. So it was like perplexing me. And as it turned out, they had my phones. You always think you're going to get away with it.
Yeah.
Like when your mind is telling you it's not going to happen.
What was it like for you having to go to prison? I mean, being a cop and being a dirty cop even more. Like that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
they volunteer to do your laundry and they bring you extra
treat you
food.
really good.
And they bring you extra food, especially
Did they have to go
the
to-
guys that you ran into.
Did they have to put you in PC?
I was in PC in the beginning, and then I asked out. I couldn't do it.
You'd rather just face
I
the
had enough.
consequences?
You know why? Because you learn the system. Once going through PC, I learned the system.
Then you could handle yourself.
That I can handle my. First of all, I'm not a little guy. Number
Right.
one. Number two, if you want to play, I'm going to roll. I got to do a lot of time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be 10 years or 40 years. I actually was fortunate, right? I
Yeah.
only got a 14-year sentence.
Yeah.
You know.
Still, that's
Well, put my whole late 31 to 44.
yeah. It's probably why you're so ornery now, so rambunctious. Got
No,
locked
I
up
get
too
excited.
long.
I get excited telling stories. I'm actually very mellow.
And how'd your family survive it while you were inside for 12
Very
years?
difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Because now all your actions
My
are
son's
not,
name is Michael Dowd,
right.
Oh,
and they kicked him off the baseball team.
They come visit
They kicked
you,
him off
did
the
they
baseball
really?
team.
I mean, there's no more, you can't escape it. It's all out now. And it's it's out in public.
Yeah, but the good thing is today I get to speak about it.
Yeah.
My experience, which is very, you can see, I get over, I sweat because it's you live it. You relive your stories when you tell them.
Yeah.
I don't care, good or bad.
Well, they're not glory days. They're traumatic.
Yes. And, but I get to talk about it. I've spoken at some police departments, corrections departments, colleges. I'm pretty active in that. And I get to share my story with people so that they get this. When internal affairs comes to speak to the cops, it means nothing. But when a guy who was sitting in that chair gets there and tells you, listen, you're not who you think you are.
Yeah.
You think you're that good, but you're not. And I'll tell you, and I did one last year, and I said, somebody in this room, I said, a lot of you guys hate me, but I hope by the end of this conversation, at least you respect the fact that I'm opening your eyes.
yeah.
First, at the end of the thing, guy raises his hand. He goes, I hated you when I walked in here. He says, now I want to give you a hug.
When I watched in the 7.5 and I was enamored by it, right? Not in a good way.
No, of course.
It pissed me off. I'm third generation cop. I'm like, this guy's a
Low-life
piece of
scumbag
shit.
piece of shit.
He really is, man.
Yeah.
If I ever see this guy, but the fact that you're willing to talk to these young guys and girls, and again, I'm not making excuses of it. At the times were the times, right? You're not telling it as glory days and war stories. You're
It's
telling
not.
it in a way that, look, folks,
It's painful.
yeah, if you turn on this badge,
There was a lot of fun. So don't
because you survived it.
Immature,
Right.
childish fun as
Yeah.
a man.
Yeah.
And that's very expensive in the end.
Yeah, and I think it's important that they hear it. I think it's important to hear your rawness. I think it gives people a sense of pause when they're faced with an opportunity and there is a stack of cash sitting there.
I've had guys call me up and tell me exactly that. That I changed their life. I get the messages every couple of days.
Yeah.
I got one the other day, like 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days in a row. Guys are sending me messages. I think the profile's moving in another direction because social media, your profile moves a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are getting a little different information about me. I'm getting messages from guys whose fathers are on the job. It's very moving because I'm affecting people still in a good way.
I didn't want to like either, man. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'd be dishonoring
The badge.
Yeah. But you do have a point. You do have a purpose. You do have a story. And I think if you can send that message to some of these younger guys who are thinking about walking that line, like, I deserve this, I should get this.
Right. Well, you get a sense of entitlement. I just saved this guy's life.
Yeah.
yeah.
I deserve extra
Because it's
100.
easy to get bitter and hate it.
Right.
And I've
Because
said
the
it.
job
Look,
don't
then
like you.
but
The
then
minute
just
you
get
become
off.
a cop, there's the minute they're looking to take your job from you. Remember
Yeah,
that.
right. First day.
So that's the one thing people don't understand. When you become a mechanic, they're looking to give you raises and give you more money. When you become a cop, they're looking to take your job the day you get it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a very adversarial position to be in, and
definitely
it
is.
creates a lot of animosity. And some of us will act out.
Yep.
You'll get a guy like me that acts out. It's unfortunate because I ruin myself and everybody around me then.
And look, I put cops in jail. I mean, some of the undercover work that I've done, I've hired cops and paid them as dirty cops, And again, the Mike Dowds of law enforcement community, it's only a small percentage when you really look at
absolutely.
it, right? And again, times were different then.
Right.
And the times that we're talking about with you today, much different.
It's a different world today.
Different world today,
Yeah. I'd have to figure this all out again.
You own it. And I got to give that to you. You own it.
Thank you for saying that because people often say to me, why? I said, because I'm telling a story that no one's telling.
And you're willing to tell
I'm
it.
willing to tell it. There's a lot of guys that aren't saying it.
Right.
And so that lesson goes untaught.
Yeah. Yeah. The story of empathy that you talked about and coming full circle and being that guy that, look, your mother told you to own your response, own your actions,
Own it.
right?
Yep. My mother went to church every day.
Yeah.
Your mother did?
I didn't know it. So
To pray for you?
Yeah.
While you were inside?
Oh, while in prison.
I didn't know it till last year.
How'd you find out your mom was going to church every day?
One day I was sitting in the kitchen and she about a year ago, because my mother's starting to get a little old,
Yeah.
and she said, I went to church every day and signed a book and asked for prayers for you. She said, I walked every day while you were away.
Wow.
That was pretty moving to hear that, So
Well, you need to believe someone believes in you. Your mother definitely did.
yeah, it was nice. It was very moving to hear. And every time I think about it, it's touching. Yeah. So
You had a lot of anger from your family, wife, kids,
wife
father?
is still angry. My kids love me. I got 4 grandkids.
Do you?
I have a nice life today. I mean, I have no wealth, but I have a nice life.
Right. God blessed you with grandkids and good kids.
Yes.
Listen, it's not, and I think you learn now, the money at that age, you were a fast-paced young cop in a crazy area.
Poor choices.
Poor choices. Yeah. Or just presented with these opportunities, and that moral compass just failed you. I don't know what it was, but I think now.
Greed.
But again, let's
Simple.
not forget, you testified at the Mullen Commission, right?
Yeah.
And
That's when
that
I began the change in my life.
And that's when I watched the fact that you owned it and sat in front of a commission and owned everything you did, and you did it you took it like a man.
Yeah, well, thank you.
You really did.
I'm proud that I did that because it was not easy. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
3 times, twice I told them no. The 3rd time they accused me of 9 murders. I said, someone's got to be in my court.
Right.
So I just and I gave up no cops. So.
Well, inside the life, we interview a lot of fascinating guests. We get to talk to a lot of different people and a lot of different stories. And I wondered when you came on, what was the purpose? What was your purpose going to be? But I think it's important that we talk about corruption and organized crime doesn't have a boundary.
It never.
It can get inside of politics and get inside of police.
I mean, I had organized crime guys work with me too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, basically what you're describing, you guys were an organized crime
Yes,
group
we were.
together
We had
within the
racketeering
department.
charges.
Right?
Look, the fact that we're sitting in the Mob Museum, and the Mob Museum is the Museum of Organized Crime and Law Enforcement, right? They've now, that component does consist of law enforcement. Right. So you have to tell the good, bad, and ugly. Right. Just like we did with the organizations that are criminal organizations. Right. You have to tell the stories about the good and the bad of law enforcement as well.
Absolutely.
Because when organized crime gets involved, and you were part of an organized crime.
Yeah.
A ring, a RICO ring.
Absolutely.
So you have to own it. And there's education there.
Yeah.
So I think that's redemption. Every day now is a redemption for you.
Doing the best I can.
Right.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
Michael, thanks for coming on. It seems like they always said you should have been a fireman.
I should have been a fireman.
Well, we appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me,
guys.
Really, I appreciate it.
It's been a wild ride.
Nice show, nice setup,
sharing
by the way.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, man. This is humbling and eye-opening for sure.
For behind-the-scenes photos, merchandise, and exclusive content, visit InsideTheLife.org. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get podcasts.